Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin Nowell, and thank you for tuning in today. We have a very special treat, a cash game between current UBC Contender Tournament winner Zdenek Zizka versus gambling legend with poker and backgammon in New York City, Abe the Snake Mosseri. I hope you enjoy this video. It is incredible. Now, the old format we had when Abe was playing Mochi was 12-second delay. And if they used any time on their clock, for every second they would pay 2% of whatever they were playing for per point. Well, the same thing is true in today's game. They're playing for $300 a point, and for every second they use over their delay time, which is a new low of 10 seconds per move, they got to pay the other guy $6 for every single second that they stop and they use on their clock to think. And that can add up over the course of the 50 games they're going to be playing today. 10 games each episode, 5 episodes in total. So smash the like button and subscribe to the channel just to make sure you do not miss any episodes of this. Make sure you have your alerts turned on so this video pops up when you log on to YouTube. And if anyone is interested in backgammon lessons with me, Justin Nowell, please feel free to send me an email at justin@backgammonuniversity.com. Now let's get into the games. And we're off. Oh, all right. So we have the XG feed on the bottom. I was not able to do like a live transcription, so we'll just have the best moves highlighted on the bottom from a previously done transcripted file because they are playing way too fast to keep up with it. I tried it for about 2 years straight, and I had to quit. So I'm just here to keep you company, and maybe we'll talk about a few things here and there, and I'd like to add maybe a few key positions from all of the 10 games that we watched during this episode in a post-match analysis, so stick around for that. And here, this is a lovely slotting play, no better for, really. You're leaving a shot anyway, so why not slot the point you'd like to make? If he had gotten away with it, he'd be much better off for it. The dice rolls are also on the board in between the player cam and the best plays here, just in case there's a bit of a glare sometimes. We'll still be able to see it there. 6-2 just remakes the midpoint. 4-2 enters. The deuce is not great. He just has to play down for lack of a better thing to do. 2-1 hits. And I guess I would go to the 7, trying to slot the bar. Seems like a good play. Getting close to a cube here. I might have doubled already with him being on the roof and the other blot in the outfield. 4-6 comes in. Guess the take is still too easy here. He's not on the roof, but he was on the roof before. 6-1. And ZZ really needs a 4. He hits him and comes out. This game is over. 1-2. I double and I probably pass. I definitely pass. As we can see here with the pip count down 68 pips, we have our anchor, but they're shooting at another blot. We've got a guy dangerously hanging out on the 24 point as well because of all the blots that are there.
Yeah, but you just double tap this sense. You just go boom, boom from one side to the other side.
Yeah, then it resets to 10.
Yeah, it resets the time. Well, when you want to start the next game is when you want to do it. You see how it resets it?
Is there a higher chair than this?
That's it.
Do you have a pad? Is a pillow okay, Ed?
Yeah, if you want a pillow, take a pillow.
ZZ wants a higher chair for some reason.
Tall isn't enough for you.
Being 8 feet tall is not enough for him, I say.
How tall are you, Abe? No, Abe's actually 6 foot tall. So I'm going to do this score from your perspective, Abe, okay?
He wants the dominating view over the board, ZZ does.
You guys can, if you want, in between the games. Yeah, that's really all that's for.
So we're keeping track of the points there as well. Points won and lost on the score. So no players used any time yet. 6 for ZZ. 4-2 and make the 9. 4-3. I guess I just go to the 6. I'm not trying to leave shots. I've got everybody out. That's a great roll for an anchor. Double 4s brings everybody around. And here we could probably cube already. It's up 25 pips. Double take. 6-3 plays 2 down. It's a great shot. The distribution is perfect for trying to make the 5. That roll would have definitely been a market loss. 5-2 fills in the 5 point. And this game, as we can see here, you know, Abe only wins 14.7% of the time from here. So his chances are not 0, but getting closer to 0 with every roll. Double 6 leaves a shot, though. That's the wrong 4, double 2s. And what's going to leave a shot? Double 4s. Is that about it? And Abe is hanging out for a little bit, hoping that maybe... Ooh, that's a little bit of a misclick there. White could roll double 6s and leave a shot. Not worth much, but it is worth something. Double 5s gets off of the gammon. But still doesn't allow him to win the game. So this game is over. ZZ takes a quick 3-point lead here.
Is the clock paused?
Yep.
I got it. You focus on the game, mate. You focus on the game. So you guys do the clock thing to reset it, yeah?
3-2 splits. 3-1 makes the point, of course. 5-5 comes all the way around and makes the 3. It's a great shot. Abe really hopes to roll a 7 here. Doesn't happen. I would play 2 down with the idea of trying to make the 7 point. You do not want to split into this structure, though. Now you're on the roof times 2. You need an ace. Ace 4. Okay. 1-6 comes out. 6-5 hits twice, I think. Because there's no better 5, really. Playing 13-8 strips the mid, so yeah. 4-2. 2-1. Wow, what am I doing here? Maybe I do this and make the 11. 6-1 makes the 5. 5-2 hits outside. 4-2 hits back. Double 2s. Okay, so this is pretty much forced. Everything else is a double blunder. 4-1. We just come out, I guess. Just trying to achieve flexibility with all of our checkers. We don't want our position to get static with the idea of like having to stay back. Wow, look at that. Staying there was right. And making the 9 an actual blocking point of the checkers on the 21 was the best idea. That's difficult. ZZ is playing so fast. He's trying to not waste any money with the clock. Yeah, make the other point, of course. Hope he fans. He does fan. Do we have anything here? We did have a thing, but we didn't double it. We'll probably miss some cubes here as both players, just due to not wanting to waste any time thinking about it. Trying to assess the race if you're not keeping a running count in a situation like this is really difficult, I think. Oh, what an important 4 for Abe. 2-1. What's the number? 2-1. Okay, I had to look over at the board there in order to see the roll. Had a little bit of glare. So don't forget, you can just look over there and see the dice rolls if you're noticing some glare. It's hard to control all of the environmental conditions when you're setting up a video like this in just, you know, a guy's apartment basically, or at a tournament somewhere. 6-4. I guess we just, what, come out and come in? Just come out and come in. Double ones hits. 4-4. That was pretty quick. I think we could have stayed there and maybe come around. 3s or 7s hit. 2-6. And what's the race here? Do we have anything? Could we have redoubled? It was a redouble. Okay. 2-1. Now he's got nothing again. Yeah, he just comes out. 1-6. No. 3-6. 6-2 makes it, and the 2 just continues from here. Yeah. 3-1. And what are we doing? We're coming all the way up. Yeah, I like that play. 5-3. No need to hit. We're up in the race. 6-4 comes around. 5-1 just double slots the board. Double 5s is blocked for us, but this is a race equalizer. That's good. 4-2. Maybe blue rolls a 6 first and leaves a shot. Double 3s comes all the way around. Fantastic shot. 5-2. Looking at the race now. 7 pips. Is that right? No, it's even. Okay. 6-5. 6-5. 5 first. 6 off.
Legal moves.
5-2. So the race is even still. Now he's up 9. Now he's up 4. 5-2 makes him up 11. Now he's only up 2. But with Abe on roll, he's a decent favorite. If he could roll better, I think. He's not rolling better. 3-1. 4-2. ZZ's gained on him. Double 1s. Okay, 2 checkers off. I guess I would go 4-3. Five 1. Double 6. Let's go. 4-1. Abe crawls some points back there.
He's a thief, man. He's a thief.
Stole that game right out from under ZZ. Stole it. Whew.
No seconds.
No seconds so far. Any minutes?
4-2 just makes the point. Double 6 comes around. Makes the 7, of course. 2-1, 13-11, 6-5. Great play by ZZ. 5-3. ZZ's one of the best PR players in the world as well. He just won the UBC tournament in Monaco this year. This was actually filmed a few years ago. And I figured, you might as well release it now after the young guys won the UBC tournament. His name is once again buzzing in the streets. And I can't wait for the final between ZZ and Mochi. Should be absolutely epic. Abe doubles. Pass.
The dog bit.
2-1 slots. This is the best play for money, by the way. 5-3 makes the point, and I think we just cover and make the 11. There's no other 2, really. We can't split with the back guys, but making the point would be better anyway. Yeah, I like this. Splitting and slotting the point. 5-3 is going to hit. 2-4 hits back. Great number. 4-6 comes in and out. Wow, they're playing so fast. I swear, this is not sped up. And if anybody wants to watch this at a slower speed, feel free. You can actually change the viewing settings on YouTube. You can slow down videos, speed up videos. If you're getting dizzy. Just realize these guys had to do this and try to find the best play at the same time. So if you think it's hard to watch, imagine what it felt like doing it. 6-4. 5-2. Yeah, that seems like a good play. Slotting the 4. Double twos gets to come off and play 4-2. We want to keep that spare in front of his anchor if we can, just so we can use it later if we roll a funny number. This is a funny number, but ZZ finds the best play. It leaves a shot. Despite blue having a great home board, it's still the best play. 5-2 makes the 11. What a fantastic number. 5-2 makes the 3. Okay. 6-1. Abe is just building and waiting for his chance to get a shot. This game is basically 50-50 right now. 4-2 covers. Tons of numbers leave a shot, and then Abe might get him. 2-1 is a great number. It doesn't leave a shot. And now blue's board just got a little bit weaker by putting the checker on the 1. 4-3. Wow, what are we doing here?
Okay.
Yeah, nice play, Abe. I've got a hard time breaking my board there. So 2's hit, 9's hit. 4-1 on the other hand does not hit. So we're just going to play 13-9. Well, okay, yeah, this is fine too. I would have played probably 13-9 and then move the next ace. I'm not sure if there was a big difference there. 5-2. And yeah, I don't split it all, because he might be able to pick and pass with like 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. He doubles this of all places. That's crazy. And if he had time to count, I think he would find the other play. The computer says this is not the worst, but like clearly not a great play according to the computer, because it must leave more shots, right? But if he made the other play, he would have been hit. So if we were clairvoyant, we would make the we would make the other play just because we knew what the guy was going to roll, but it must have left more shots. It's just you don't have the time to count it, do you? You've only got 10 seconds per move, and so you just have to play off of instinct. And as we can see, both of these players' instincts are quite good. But some things need calculation, right? We've got a feeling that one play might be better than the other, but that might not be true. And it takes some calculation, just counting how many numbers get hit in one position versus another. And we'll see we're showing the PRs after each game here, not cumulatively. So here in this game, ZZ played a 2.21 and Abe played a 0.67. All the PRs are shown per game. And at the end of all 50 games, I'll show you what their cumulative PR is. But because we're not keeping a running count of what the PR is, I figured it'd be best to display per game how well they played each game. But stick around for the analysis afterwards. Hopefully I can find some good positions from these games. Yeah, I would just step up with the back one to talk about afterwards in a bit more depth. Make the 11. Yeah, this just makes the 7 point. 1-6 makes the 5. And 5-4 just comes all the way out to the 13, I think. This looks like a reasonable play. 4-2 makes the point. 5-4 fans. Oh, this doesn't get to step up. That's not good. I would slot the bar. No, you need to slot the bar. I've made this mistake before where I don't slot the bar. In order to try to get those guys out behind white's 4 prime, we need a 5 prime, right? So yes, he rolled a 1-6 and it would have caused us a lot of trouble, but if he had rolled some suboptimal number and we were able to make the bar, our position would be dramatically improved. And now he gets to put 2 on the roof. Abe needs a 4 more now than ever. No, 6-5, he fans. Here comes easy, so I would do this. Yeah, I like this play. Gives us a lot of numbers to make the 3 or the 1. 6-2 doesn't do that. He comes around so as to not be hit with double ones. And 4-1, nice roll, makes the point. 6-5 fans. He wants to hit loose with anything, and Abe needs an ace to try to stay alive in this game. Double threes, he doesn't do it. 2-1, okay, he still has a chance. 5-2. 6-5, covers, and it looks like another gammon. It looks like a gammon here. Wow. Abe, I'm sure, is not pleased about this gammon, but after playing with Abe for years, I know he's used to getting gammons, so he's not particularly fazed. He knows this is just how things go sometimes. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you get unlucky. There's our friend Jason Pack there in the background, Pac-Man. Did well in the UBC tournament in Monaco this year. I was not there this year. There's a baby on the way. Decided to take some time off there. And if Abe doesn't roll boxes, the gammon is secured.
Gammon?
Yep. Gentlemen, nice to see you.
So now he's up 6 points.
It'll be good to get your reaction in the face cam videos.
And he's used 0 seconds, and Abe has used 11 seconds.
Just in case. The holy shit moments, you know? To be fair, people missed out on your reactions during
I'm
the
not
Abe
sure. I
Emoji
think
Challenge,
they're
which was-
paying 2%
which were epic.
per second,
I missed
which
out
would
on
be, I believe, $6
We were
per
here.
second used.
I'm glad I'm here now. I'm just glad to be here. It's great.
Double 6 fans. Oh no. Come out, make the point. You know, even though we could have ran all the way to safety, it's generally better just to make the point because the game isn't going to end after that one move, right? So having the point pays dividends long term. You know, if you want to think about it as building up permanent assets, right? These things that we accumulate will pay dividends throughout the rest of the game, right? In the beginning of a Monopoly game, you know, we're not complaining about the price of the properties, right? Because we know they become more valuable later in the game. We have these things that cost maybe all of our money right now, but we know it's a necessity for us to have them because they'll pay dividends in the future and hopefully bankrupt our opponents, right? So yes, we may get hit. We might have setbacks in the game. But as the game goes on, those permanent assets we've locked up early tend to pay out much later, right? So it's good for us to lock up these assets at the cost of shots sometimes, especially early in the game. Monopoly analogies. 5-3. Should have doubled this. 5-1 games are not ideal. In fact, I would say they're the opposite of ideal. They are bad. And they've got maybe a little more equity than like a regular 20-point holding game, but the 20 and 24 just don't really work well together. They just don't work well. Basically find yourself in an ace point game at a certain point. And even though you can win a few of those, you get gammon trying a lot. So they're nice to fall back into when things go wrong, but it's not necessarily something you want to volunteer for, yeah? It's the game you end up having. It's not a game we love playing. Right, so he could have played with fewer shots, but decided to make the permanent asset, right? It ended up being the correct play, though it appears as if he's being properly punished for playing correctly. And we hit, just come down. 1-6. 4-3, and Abe needs a 6 really badly to try to link up. He doesn't get to roll it, and he plays here to the 9. He could have played 6-2. But professionals do not play 6-2. They do this hoping to be missed, knowing that their back checker needs time to get out and around. And now he has a 5 prime, right? So don't be scared. Play for structure. Yeah, 6 to 5 ends up being a little bit better here. Five two comes out. 5-3 is a misser, but slots the point. Now we see that white is behind a 5 prime, but white is on the 21 point anchor or the 4 point anchor. And so, yes, it's not ideal being behind a 5 prime, but clearly it's worse the deeper you are in blue's homeboard. Because at a certain point, blue will have to break that structure in order to bear in. We'll see that white is still up 26 pips, and they're looking for any excuse to try to get out of there. Hopefully with double sixes, though, of course, right? Oh, wow, that was a 150 blunder making that play. The distribution is poor. Wow, that's wild. I don't know what I would have played, but 150 seems like a lot. 6-4. He doubles now. The take is easy. And 5-1. He can't let him leave, so he has to hit the guy. He has to hit the guy. Getting hit with the 2 is not a big deal because he's still trapped behind the structure. 6-5 fans, though. That's big. So this makes the 4 and the deuce. 1 what? 1-2. Okay, he gets missed. 5-3 has to hit loose. I think, unless he was up enough in the race. I liked the play. But he just got hit. And he enters. And wow, look at this play. Just 7-3. Abe's play, I like this play because he's just saying, you know what, I'm gonna make the 7. And I'm not gonna have to worry about you forever. But that didn't happen. So we bring in the 5 and the 4 like this for good distribution. We're holding back here just in case he rolls 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5. We still get a shot at him. 5-4 misses. This is an awful number. He really wants to hit him. Double threes destroys white's home board. 5-3 just makes the point. 5-4 just clears the 6. We're not going to leave a shot, of course. 5-4 fans. 6-3, 3 first, then 6 off. Double threes. 2-1. 2-1. 6-1. 4-3. 6-4 leaves a shot. Does he hit him? 3-1 fans. Abe could win a gammon here. He needs to play 3-2. Because if white fans, which you're hoping they do, now everything leaves a shot. And he leaves a shot. Oh, no, he entered last roll. Okay, oh, that was scary. I mean, why? Doesn't play any faster or anything. It just punishes you more when the guy fans. But you don't want to be punished when he fans. You want to be rewarded when he fans.
I already did it. I'm also lightning fast. All those easy
5-1 split.
Yes.
Double threes up and down. Stock play there. This one makes the 7. 5-3 makes the 5, though it is very close. 4-2. So we could just play 13-7 or come out. I like either play. This one misses the outside guy. It hits here. 1-6 makes the anchor. 6-5 covers. 3-6. 4-1. Okay, we can just make the point. We're not necessarily worried about getting hit with an ace because we've got such a better board than the other guy. And he has a blot in his, so if he hits us, we might be able to get him back. Yeah, funny enough, same situation where 13-3 is best, leaving the shot. Because we're going to be in a similar situation next roll, and here 2 down is the best play. But boy, is that hard to do when the guy's got a 5-point board. But maybe the purpose is for stuff like this, because now it's hard to hit the guy. 4-1. Wait, what? No, we just got to come to the 9 point. We don't want to come out. We're not really winning the race. And if he hits us loose in the home board or outside, we want to make it dangerous for him after hitting us. If he hit us off with his 18 point, then there would have been a lot more rebuttal rolls from the roof to hit him back. He'd be playing with more blots. Yeah, difficult play though.
That was game 9.
That was game 9. Got one more game to go in this set. ZZ is currently up 6 points. Double ones. What a shot. 2-6 hits back. 4-2. And 6-1. What is this? We just get to make... Oh, yeah. We can come out this way. I like this. Escaping the back guy. We could have made the 10 point, but I think it's better to escape the back checker. And Abe makes the point on his head. 3-5. It has to come out. Abe doubles. He's finally happy. He's got a game where he's positive equity. 4-5 misses. So what can we do? We can hit and play the 4 down. I like that play. You know, trying to seize some sort of initiative. Yeah, that's the one. He doesn't like it playing with all the blots. Okay. This is a small mistake. He gets missed. Now he needs to bring the guy around. 4-5 brings it around perfectly, but still his position's a bit stacked. This is not going to be easy to bring home. 5-3 makes life easier. 5-3 and 5-1. Okay. Need to find a way to even this out and help our distribution, but it's good we didn't have to leave a shot. 5-5, okay. Everybody comes down, and then this guy comes in. Clearing the midpoint helps a lot, but still our position is quite stacked. Nice, we pointed on him. 2-1. 6-1, forced to pick and pass. 3-1, 6-1 again has to go to the ace. I mean, don't roll a 6-5, but double 6 makes the point. 4-1, 4-4 hits back. 5-1 does nothing. 4-6 leaves a shot. 6 first, 4 here. Nobody off. A 6 or a 4-2. No, a 3-2. 4-1, and then Abe finally gets a guy off. 6-1 comes in, and now ZZ's trying to race off at the gammon. He wins a lot of gammons here, I think.
Take your time.
ZZ's rushing. Abe tells him to take his time, but he has to pay for that time.
I missed you guys.
4-2. 4-2 again. 2-1. 6-2. Great number. Looks like ZZ's about to get off of this. Double ones, just enough.
Just enough. All right.
All right, thank you guys for tuning into today's video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and if anyone's interested in backgammon lessons with me, Justin Nowell, please feel free to send me an email at justin@backgammonuniversity.com, and let's get into the analysis portion of today's video. Welcome to the analysis portion of this video. And let's take a look at this interesting cube decision from game 1. ZZ on roll, blue on the roof. Tough. I mean, borderline take pass decision, but a no double was found here, probably just due to the time control situation of this match, right? Blue was on the roof against a 4-point board. There's another blot in the outfield. You're up in the race by 46 pips. It just seems like a lot of things can go right, and there's a lot of market losing sequences here. Whereas it's not a big decision one way or the other to take or pass. Anytime blue just fans again while trying to enter against white's board, they're in some serious trouble, right? So I think it's important to turn the cube now to take advantage of all of those sequences, because if we're able to pick up the extra checker on the 14 as well, we pick up a ton of gammons, right? So yes, blue can win a lot of these games. We see that, which is why the cube doesn't come sometimes. But when we see that we win 35% gammons, even though they have an anchor already, the cube's got to come. We have to activate those, because in money games, you can't win a gammon if you don't turn the cube. So you will, in fact, lose your market, right? Let's take a look at also game 3. There were some interesting decisions here. I thought this 4-2 was a really interesting decision over the board. It seems interesting. You just want to come out to the 14 and make the 11. This just seems like the natural play, but it ends up being a fairly decent mistake over just making the 9, which really helps to restrain blue's back checkers. Makes it difficult for them to leave, right? And if they can't leave, they can't win. You might be thinking, okay, while I'm staying on the 18, I'm leaving a triple shot, but there's no spares on blue's outside position. So anything they hit you with, they're breaking a point to do it, right? Their aces don't love hitting you, right? Because they leave a lot of rebuttal rolls or return shots from the roof, right? Same thing when 2s hit you sometimes, right? There's a lot of return shots from the roof. Same thing when they hit you with a lot of 6s. There could be return shots from the roof, and then as you're entering and blue is trying to leave, we have more points in front of them to attack them as they try to get off of that back anchor, right? So these shots here don't come without risk, whereas if we come here, we could still be hit, by the way, with this back checkers or with the checkers on the mid, but then it's a lot harder to hit me back, which makes it safer for blue to hit here than it is for blue to hit here. And let's take a look at another checker play here. I thought this 6-1 was interesting from white, where the best play is to make the 7 point instead of coming out. Now, I don't know if anyone's keeping a running count during this challenge, right? We don't know that we're up by a bit, but not a ton. But also, when the 1 point is open, having the 7 point has a lot of value, because if blue enters with an ace, they could get stuck there, right? 1-2, 1-5, 1-6 are all like really, really bad rolls now. I mean, it's not like it wouldn't have been a bad roll anyway, but it's extra bad now that we have the 7 point made, especially with numbers like 1-6, where you would love to just hop in and hop out. Now you have an extra shot somewhere that you didn't have before. And then you will likely have the time to get out just later, right? We still have 3 more checkers to play with in the outfield to bring in, which should be okay. But when the 1 is open, having the 7 point has a lot of value. I've seen that in a lot of positions. Dirk talks about similar positions like this in his book. So it is a pattern to look out for. What else do we have here in game 3? Oh yeah, this 5-3. So when you have one man back, it just feels really, really natural just to try to escape the last guy, right? Only 3s and 7s hit. But after this play, it's a cube, right? Because if you hit one, you likely hit the other one, and then the gammons go through the roof. And I will say it is a lot easier sometimes to survive a position with just one blot instead of more than one blot, right? So let's say we make the best play, right? Well, now we're only worried about numbers that point on us, right? Him hitting us loose is something he might do, but if we hit back, we're doing just fine. Whereas if we get hit out here, it's going to be a lot harder for us to survive with these life after death scenarios, right? So we just sit back here, clean up our blots, try to build the 4 point, and just wait for a better opportunity to run, right? We're only really upset when he rolls 6-2, 6-3, 2-3. Double 3s, which are not a lot of sequences. We can't be too upset if we're hit loose because it gives us a great opportunity to hit back, whereas if we're hit out here, this could be really catastrophic. and we don't have a lot of rolls that hit back. Whereas if we're going to hit loose in the inner board, we could hit back directly. And that would be good. That would be good. Let's see what else we have here. Game 4 seems fine. Game 5 seems pretty good. This 4-1. So one of the things we can do is go into dice distribution here. And we have little charts that pop up, which you guys can't see on the screen. But in dice distribution in XG, it will essentially just show all of our opponent's next rolls, which ones that hit us versus which don't hit us. And I will say, 3, 4, 7. We get away with not being hit more after making this play than the other one. Long story short, we get hit less. Getting hit less is good. Also, I think it's easier to clean up after this play than after the other one as well. Now we get to clean up with a lot of our 6s. Maybe that's the case, right? Whereas after this play, a lot of our 6s will still leave another shot, right? So maybe that's the parlay as well. Or like maybe it's not more shots, 5-2 versus 6-1. Maybe it's not more. But now we get to pick up both blots with numbers like 6-3 and 6-4 and 6-5. Whereas after this play, I guess all of our 6s still leave shots, right? 6-1 still leaves a shot, 6-2 leaves a shot, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5 leaves a shot. So I guess maybe it's not on the direct shot, but on the parlay of the next sequence, right? Which is pretty cool to see once you go through the numbers a bit. I think the other play also saves on one extra number. Let's see here, game 6. What do we have going on here? Oh, yes, this 5-4. Oops, the camera got kicked. So slotting the bar here is a very important idea, right? So I see why Abe doesn't want to do it, because here he only gets hit with 3-6, right? Where here you get hit with 1-6 and 2-5 and 3-4. You get hit with way more numbers, right? But the problem with a play like this is that if he enters without hitting you, you have to worry about him escaping forever. And I've made plays like this before where I missed this idea and it's been a bigger mistake than this. I remember one time I did it in, I think, where was it? Chicago on stream or one of these places, either Chicago or Texas or something like this. And I remember Ryan yelling at me for making a play like this, like, no, you've got to slot the bar, even though it gets hit more. You're able to contain better, and that will give me the time I need to get these 2 blue checkers out. So we slot the bar, hope he enters poorly, then make it, then work on extracting, right? Instead of this play where we then have to worry about him escaping for the rest of the game after he enters, right? Where we're just hoping to roll, 6-2 next roll or something? It's much easier to slot the point and then cover it than it is to roll a 6-2. Despite the risk, long term, better for your equity. What else do we have here? Nothing crazy the rest of this game. Game 7. We have a 6-2 here. And look at this. They want us to just come out 24-18. 5-1 isn't a real back game. And putting a checker on the 2-point hurts with containment later if you do get a shot and hit it, right? And so they're just trying to keep their structure as solid as possible and hopefully upgrade their anchors to something a bit more manageable later on. Allowing your position to get pushed this far forward, really holding on to a 5-1 game when things really aren't that dangerous yet, seems to be a bit extreme. But I know Abe and he loves his double anchors, so I can see why this play is difficult. I could make an 8-2 play maybe like 20-25% of the time, depending on my mood. So I can't fault him for it. But what we want to do is just see plays like this and understand that, hey, 8-2 isn't like a real backgammon play most of the time, unless, of course, it's super expensive to do anything else, right? Or we have a big stack of checkers somewhere that like needs to be offloaded. And double fours here. Yeah, I can see the problem with this play, right? By getting rid of the 7 point when the guy's on the 24 point, if he is lucky enough to roll like a 1-4, 2-4, 5-4 from the roof and we fan, it makes it much easier for blue to recirculate their checkers by coming out because the bar is gone. Whereas if we do this, we leave the same types of shots here, but it then makes it harder for blue to extract the back checkers later on, right? Which means we have more wins after getting hit. Also, our spares are a bit better placed for filling in the 3 point when we are missed as well. So I can see the problem here. Let's look at game 8. Game 8 seems to be okay for now. But this 5-2 ended up being a 150 blunder, making the point. But with speed, it seems like making the point is a pretty good play. But the problem is, look at our distribution, right? We don't have many spares to use to try to make the 4 point naturally when white runs, right? Whereas if we make the better play, look at our distribution, right? So having the blot here, Abe looked at as a liability and didn't want to have the liability in his board if the guy ran. But notice that this blot on the 3 point doesn't really matter much when we have distribution like this, because if we make the 4 point, we have a 6 prime, right? If we roll the 1-2s, 1-3s, 1-4s, 2-4s, 2-3s, 3-4s, numbers like this to just make the 4 point naturally, we don't care if we're hit on the 3 because we have a 6 prime and there's no way for him to leave. And the only way for us to get in is for him to crack his board and then let us in, right? So it's much better to have this more flexible position than it is to have this point, because we don't need the 3 point, we need the 4 point. The 4 point gives us the 6 prime, and then if he rolls the 3, he has to crack his board to let us in, which is what we want. All right, what else do we have in this game? Nothing crazy. Game 9. Oh, this 6-5 was really interesting. So I can see easily why anybody would want to not leave a shot here, right? I think the problem is that it leaves 2 blots in white's home board, and now blue can use their own board as defense, right? So ideally, we'll see now that blue can just run off their anchor, because what are you going to do? Hit me? Right? What are you going to do? Hit me? Now all of a sudden I roll like 6-3 or 6-4 or something, and then there's just double shots all around the board, right? White can't really play a lot of their numbers after leaving 2 blots in their board, because there's no fear when blue hops off their anchor, right? So if we just play 2 down, which looks very scary because of course they could roll a 3. When they don't roll a 3, right, they're either breaking their anchor, in which case we're much better off for not having 2 blots on our board because we have a better chance to attack, right? Or they might leave a shot from the 13, or they might be forced to break their board. Yes, it stinks when they roll a 3, but the question is, if they play 2 down with blue on roll, can they double you before they roll a 3? No, right? So the worst case scenario is they roll a 3 and you don't enter and you lose 1 point, okay. Or they just don't roll a 3 and you end up being much better off on the other sequences where they don't roll a 3, right? In which case the game keeps going and you're doing just fine. It's very difficult to proceed after this, but I can see that it is very scary because you have a 5-point board. If he rolls a 3, the game is over. But look at the equity. You're really not that bad off in this position. You're actually much better off than by leaving no shots at all in your inner board because of the liability of the blots in your home board. You can't even hit the guy when he comes out because hitting him might get you gammoned. All right. And this 4-1, but it's not a big deal. And what do we have in game 10? nothing at all, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in episode 2. Coming next week.